What up, players? It's War Boss Tay up in this mug. This is a little bit of a follow-up to the video I made yesterday about painting faces. Now, if you do have a miniature with eyeballs that you feel you can reach, then I'm going to show you how I like to paint my eyeballs. I'm going to be using this very fine detail brush. I'll put a link in the description where you can get a bunch of them for under $10 American, and you can check that out. And basically you're going to take some very thinned down black paint. Like, really, you don't want this paint to be chunky because it's going to have to really go into where the recesses of the eyeballs are. I've also found, lately Games Workshop has been scaling down the heads and the faces of their miniatures to make them more detailed, expressive. And a lot of them are like scowling or making a really angry face, and that makes their eyes look really squinty. So this might not be the best technique to use because it's going to be very difficult to get this white paint in. I'm using Pro Acryl Bold Titanium White. Again, thin this down because you're doing 2 horizontals of the black paint and then 2 horizontal lines of this white paint. The trick is you gotta get this white paint into the black horizontal line you've already painted, because if you don't, if you only see white and you don't see the black like an eyeliner, your guy is going to look like he's bulging his eyes out, and it's not going to look good. You really want to make sure that you can get the hang of getting the white paint inside the black. And the best way to do this, the absolute best way I found to practice your eyeball painting, is to practice on an ogre head. Ogres are bigger scaled. They're making the same angry, scowling, squinty-eyed expression that most other miniatures are making, but they're a larger scale, so you could see, oh, okay, how do my lines have to look? How can I get the smoothest line so that I'm not painting into the rest of the face? I'm not getting white or black paint onto the eyebrow or the cheek. It's okay if you do. We're not doing any cleanup yet. All we're doing now is we're taking that black paint even thinner than we did before, because you're going to create a vertical line from the top of the eyeball to the bottom. It has to connect. You cannot just have a little dot in the center, or again, he's going to look like a crazy person. And you can't have just the pupil of the eyeball attached to the top of the eye. It has to go straight from the top to the bottom so that you see the white is clearly divided by the pupil. Now, once you do this, this is when I start doing the cleanup. This is when I notice, okay, the eyeball is too white. I have to make the eyeball smaller, or else my guy's gonna look too buggy. Like, look at him now. He looks pretty ridiculous. So I'm taking my black paint and I'm gonna try to push the edge of the eyeliner up to make him as squinty as possible while still seeing the white of the whites of the eyes. This is tricky, especially if you have a part of the model that's covering the eye and giving you a bad angle to work with. In this case, I'm having a hard time reaching the left eyeball because of the chainsword. So it helps if you have your model on top of something. I don't want to be using the energy in my hand to hold the model in place. It might start shaking. It might give me a bad cramp in my hand. So what I've got him on is this Games Workshop model clamp, model holder handle thing. You can also easily just use anything your hand can comfortably wrap around, like a prescription pill bottle, an empty paint pot. I've used a piece of cork before from a arts and crafts store that I just put some blue tack on. Yeah, you want to put like a clump of blue tack putty on, it's called poster tack in some places, and then just smash your model on so you can hold the handle easily. And all we want is basically to get as little shake and tremble to vibrate the model so that you can really focus on getting the paint on. Now, what I'm using is the color of the skin, in this case, Cadian Flesh Tone, and after edging up the whites of the eye with my black paint, now what I'm doing is I'm edging up the skin color so that it gets rid of the very heavy Alice Cooper eyeliner. I don't want that. I want just a natural looking eyeliner to shape and give the eyeball some form. And as you can see, wow, it looks great. But there is no way I could have gotten this effect on my first try. The thing about eyeballs, guys, is that you have to be willing to put up with a very cartoony, terrible looking eyeball in order to get the result that you want. So black horizontal line, white horizontal line inside the black, then black vertical line in the center to indicate the pupil, then clean up the white with more black paint, just make it look as squinty as you can, and then clean up the skin with your skin tone. That's basically my formula for doing eyeballs. Again, if you can get your hands on an ogre model, they're super cheap. You can get one off of eBay, just like eBay a single ogre model or an ogre head if you don't want to paint an entire ogre model, and just work on painting the skin of the face and then getting those eyeballs done. Once you learn how to do this technique, it's going to open up so much opportunities for you. You're going to look at your models and their faces in a whole new way, in a whole new light. And I really want that for you guys. I want you to see how much fun it is, how beautiful it is to paint a model and see their eyeballs looking expressive, not looking like they came from Temu or some like wish.com. So eyeballs are such a great technique to have in your toolkit, veteran painters and beginner painters. This is the easiest way that I've found to have great looking eyeballs, expressive looking eyeballs that will really bump up the level of your miniature. So enjoy this technique. Let me know how you get on with it. Hit the like button before you go. And if you are interested in more content like this, then I hope you consider becoming a channel member and supporting me that way as well. Thanks for watching, everybody. All I'm doing now is I'm adding a little bit of Reikland Flesh Shade to tie the skin tones together, and this model is looking so much greater now that he has eyeballs. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Enjoy painting. We'll see you in the next one.